Hi everyone, this is Amy. Welcome to my channel. Have you heard about the US Figure Skating Excel series? What is it and who is it for? In this video, I will explain all about the Excel program so that you'll know if it's right for your skater. I will also explain what has changed for the current season, 2022. Even if you are already familiar with the Excel series, you'll want to keep watching this video so that you'll know precisely what has changed. This is the Excel program's 4th year. Here's why it exists. You used to be able to skate competitively as test track. The test track was an event offered at non-qualifying competitions that limits the difficulty of skating elements performed in each level. Test track lined up with the test structure requirements with the competition levels. This provided skaters a fair playing field to continue competing and testing according to their abilities. Test track was designed for skaters whose main focus is on testing, but they may still enjoy competing too. This provided an alternative to the well-balanced events that limited the technical elements permitted and the age requirements for the levels. The well-balanced program is designed for the competitive skater who is on the track towards regionals and qualifying competitions. The skating standard for well-balanced is far above the test level. In other words, competing well-balanced is a more aggressive track. So skaters often decide to hold off on taking freestyle tests, even if they can pass them, so that they can remain competitive at the level they choose to compete in well-balanced. In September 2018, US Figure Skating phased out the test track and replaced it with the Excel program. The Excel program was created to accomplish many of the same goals as test track by providing competitive opportunities for skaters that allows them to develop their technical skills and continue their progress. The Excel program bridges the transition from Learn to Skate USA to US Figure Skating. The Excel levels allow skaters to push the technical envelope beyond the test requirements while still continuing the encouragement of progression in a less aggressive competitive track. Excel is for skaters that are more focused on testing than competing. I suggest it for skaters that are more recreational and prefer a less aggressive track for competition. In other words, skaters that are not on the ice 6 days a week for several hours each day. Excel offers young athletes an exciting and competitive environment that motivates them to strengthen their program components and advance their technical skills each season. The primary mission of the Excel program is to inspire more young athletes to continue training and remain committed to participating in figure skating by providing them with events that allow them to showcase their strengths. Excel offers skaters of various levels the chance to participate with 10 levels from beginner to senior, available in non-qualifying competitions, including designated Excel series competitions. Excel programs consist of required elements that differ from the standard track to help boost skaters' strengths. Let's look at well-balanced no test and compare it to Excel beginner and high beginner, as that would be sort of the equivalent in Excel. Here's each of them. You can see that a skater that is not quite ready to skate at the well-balanced no test level and is preparing to test their pre-preliminary free skate can bridge the gap from learn to skate free skate levels with beginner and high beginner in Excel. This is an excellent opportunity for skaters to continue testing and develop their skills while showcasing their strengths at events. The Excel program also provides an opportunity for developing skaters and grassroots coaches to familiarize themselves with the International Judging System, or IJS, through a phased approach that allows them to become more proficient and confident with IJS. Just as an aside, I have a whole video, actually a bunch of videos about IJS, and there are links to them in the description down below. Skaters can also choose to register for the Excel series. Skaters that are registered will earn points based on the result of an Excel event at a designated Excel series competition. Skaters competing at the Excel levels of beginner, high beginner, pre-preliminary, preliminary, pre-juvenile, Juvenile, and Intermediate will compete to earn special recognition at the National Festival based on their participation and placement within their section. All skaters competing at those levels who compete in at least 2 competitions will receive an automatic invitation to compete at the Excel National Festival. Skaters competing in the Excel levels of Preliminary Plus, Pre-Juvenile Plus, Juvenile Plus, Intermediate Plus, Novice, Junior, and Senior will compete to earn an invitation to participate in the Excel Finalist Camp and National Excel Final at the National Festival, held at the Skating Club of Boston, July 14th through 17th this year, 2022. The official dates for the Excel series are January 14th through June 12th, 2022. The series has gone back to the original model of designating competitions that are part of the Excel series. This was the original format when the program launched. It's different from what happened last year because in 2021, scores were accepted from any competition that offered Excel events. For this year, 2022, you will have to enter competitions that are designated as part of the Excel series to have your points counted. I have a link to the official list of Excel series competitions in the description down below. I also have a link to the Excel handbook in the description below too. You can also find this on the US Figure Skating members only website. For competitions that are official Excel series competitions, if you are registered for the series, you cannot compete as Excel and well balanced at the same competition. However, that is not to say that you can't potentially compete at a non-Excel competition at the well-balanced level. The Excel series is not intended to limit you, so you can compete in well-balanced events at competitions that are outside of the Excel series. You just cannot compete in an Excel free skate and a well-balanced free skate at the same competition. That said, Excel does not have short programs. So you could conceivably compete in Excel Novice Free Skate and Novice Well-Balanced Short Program, but you could not compete in the Excel Novice Free Skate and the Well-Balanced Novice Free Skate at the same event if it was part of the Excel series, for example. Does that make sense? Leave me a comment down below and let me know. I know some of this is confusing, and that's why I'm doing this video, because I'm trying to help you understand it a little bit better. I do encourage you to read through all the official information that US Figure Skating provides. I am a fully compliant and PSA ranked and rated coach, but I'm not on staff for US Figure Skating, nor am I a committee member or an official. I'm also not your coach, so it's always best that you read the official information and check with your own coach. Anyway, the final competition is the Excel National Festival. The Excel National Festival is an opportunity for single skaters of all levels to participate and compete at a national event. Who is eligible to participate? You must be eligible member in good standing of US Figure Skating. You can be a member of the skating club of your choice. The skaters section during the duration of the Excel series will be based upon the location of your home figure skating club. But suppose you're an individual member of US Figure Skating directly and not through a club. In that case, your legal residence will determine the section you'll represent in the Excel series. You may not switch sections during the season, even if your home club changes. You are expected to abide by the Code of Ethics and Code of Conduct as outlined in the 2022 US Figure Skating Rulebook. You also must be 22 years of age or under by the registration deadline. You must compete at your test level or one level above your highest US Figure Skating free skate test passed as of the 2022 Excel Series entry deadline of March 1st, 2022. Or when the skater submits their registration to be an Excel series participant, whichever date is earlier. If you plan to take a free skating test during the 2022 Excel series season, you should start the season registered to compete at one level above your current highest US Figure Skating test pass. Skaters may not change or move up levels once the deadline has passed. All events that you plan to submit scores for must be from the same level. Of course, as is often the case, there is an exception. Skaters competing in the Excel beginner through Excel pre-juvenile levels may move up one level. Put another way, you may not move up if you are registered in the plus levels and the levels that are competing with IJS protocol scores. If you medaled at the 2021 Excel Festival, you must compete at least one level higher than you competed in the 2021 series. The cost to register for the Excel series is $50. There's a link to the Excel series registration in the description down below. You also must pay entry fees for each competition that you enter as well. There is some exciting news. That is another chance for you in 2022. You'll be able to use your IJS Excel protocols for test credit. So this is for levels juvenile through senior. All the Excel series competitions are IJS at those levels, but some other non-Excel series competitions may run these Excel levels under 6.0 scoring. So make sure you read the competition announcement and ask if you have questions. To use the performance for test credit, it does need to be scored IJS so that you'll receive a protocol. Technical Notification 272 on the US Figure Skating website explains the rules and regulations. Technical Notification 233 lists the minimum score and requirements for each level to obtain test credit. Suppose you're interested in receiving the test credit at some competitions. In that case, you need to stop by the registration desk when you arrive to let them know. Every competition is a little different and there's no one-size-fits-all. Be sure to read the competition announcement. Let the competition know before the event that you want to do this. Usually you'll have to pick up a packet after the completion of your event. Then you'll need to reach out to your skating club. They will tell you to either submit the paperwork to them or directly to US Figure Skating. Like I said, everything is a little bit different, so just ask. Getting back to the changes for 2022, there aren't too many changes to the required elements for this season. The most significant change is that at the Excel beginner level for jump combinations and sequences, the only permitted jump combinations are waltz jump, toe loop combination, or sow-cow toe loop combination. The only permitted sequence is a waltz jump, waltz jump. There are a maximum of 2 combinations or sequences allowed. You can't do all 3 of those, but you can choose 2 of those 3. So if you compete at Excel Beginner this year, you can't do something like a toe loop combination. Another change is at preliminary level, including Excel Preliminary and Excel Preliminary Plus. The program's music length is now 2 minutes plus or minus 10 seconds, which is longer than last season. This change allows more time so that the choreo step sequence can utilize full ice. Last year, the requirement for preliminary was only half ice for the choreo step sequence. For 22, the requirement is fully utilizing the entire ice surface. At the pre-juvenile plus level, the Axel jump can be repeated once. So now you have a maximum of 2 axels in your program at pre-juve. These can either be solo jumps or part of a jump sequence or combination. Double jumps, which are the permitted double sow-cow or double toe loop, can only be included twice. That said, if you repeated a double sow-cow or a double toe loop, one of those attempts is required to be either in a combination or a jump sequence. At the Excel Juvenile level, not the Excel Juvenile Plus level, the Excel Juvenile level, I know, I'm trying. This is confusing, guys. Out of the 5 jumping elements, 1 must be a single axel. I don't believe that was a requirement in 2021, but for 2022, in Excel Juvenile, at least 1 of the 5 jump elements must be an axel. Also, in the Excel Pre-Preliminary through Excel Pre-Juvenile Plus levels, for the combination spin or change foot combination spin, there are some changes to how that spin is evaluated for a level. This aligns it closer with what is done at the well-balanced events. For Excel Pre-Preliminary through Excel Pre-Juvenile, the maximum level that can be earned on those spins is a level 1 maximum. If there is a recognizable position, the spin will receive some value at a base level. If you attempt a sit spin, for example, but you're not quite low enough, but the tech panel can tell you were attempting a sit spin, it will still receive a level base. If it is less than 3 revolutions, it will receive no value. To receive a level 1 in your sit spin in one position, you can achieve any feature per ISU communication 2324. In other words, any difficult variation or any other features listed in that communication. Additionally, suppose you attempt a sit spin. You're in a sitting position. In that case, you can receive a feature for 8 revolutions just at a basic sit at those levels. You don't have to be in a difficult variation of a sit spin, as it says in the ISU communication. You can just be in a plain sitting position, just like well balanced. 8 revolution feature is not required for the spin to achieve a level 1. It can be the skater's feature to achieve a level 1, but it doesn't have to be. The only way to achieve a level 1 for a combination spin or change foot combination spin is to accomplish all 3 basic positions anywhere within the spin and hold each of those positions for at least 2 continuous revolutions. You can achieve this in variations or not in variations. That doesn't really matter. There must be a camel position, a sit position, and an upright position for 2 revolutions each, somewhere in the spin to receive a level 1. If you only achieve 2 basic positions, the call would be a combination spin or change foot combination spin level base. If you execute only 1 basic position in your combination spin, you will receive a combination spin or change for combination spin level base with a V. And if there are no basic positions anywhere in the spin will receive no value. Like everything else, I know this can be confusing. It's always best to check with your own coach. Make sure that you're meeting all the requirements and doing everything that you can to maximize your score. For the juvenile levels, spins max out at level 2. In intermediate and novice, they max out at a level 3. Junior and senior levels max out at level 4. In addition to references in the ISU communication and discussing with your coach, also make sure you refer to the element charts for Excel and the Excel program. I go over some of the technical IJS information in my technical panel video, and there's a link to that in the description down below. I'm working on a video all about spins too, so be sure to subscribe and ring that bell so that when I post it, you don't miss it. One other change for this year is for Excel Senior. The leveled step sequence used to max out at level 2. But you can now earn up to a maximum of level 4 at the senior level. The technical panel will use criteria and features in ISU communication 2324 to evaluate the level. I also want to point out that for this year, going forward for the junior and senior levels in Excel, the deduction for false will now be 1.0. That is in line with well balanced. Another thing you may notice is that the components are changing a little bit in some of the upper levels so that they'll align more closely with what we see in well balanced. Historically, Excel has only used 3 component scores all the way through senior. But this year, for 2022, you'll see that, for example, in novice, that 5 component scores are now being used, and they'll be weighted the same as well balanced. This was done to ensure that the component scores can be high enough so that skaters can achieve the minimum requirements to pass their tests when using the IJS protocol for test credit. Again, suppose you have questions about any of this, because some of this is really confusing. Just want to repeat that it's best to check with your own coach or reach out to US Figure Skating directly with any questions that you have about the Excel program and their technical requirements. I'm looking forward to many of my skaters competing at the Excel series in 2022, and I know the program chairs are looking forward to reigniting excitement in the new Excel program this season. I hope this video will inspire you to participate in the Excel program so that you'll work hard and challenge yourself to achieve new technical and program component goals this season. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like. That goes a long way to help others find this video. If you think that someone else may be interested in the Excel series, please share this video with them and just post it to your social media too. I post videos every week to help you with your skating, fitness, nutrition, and live a better life. So remember to subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss a video. This is Amy. Thank you for watching. Happy skating. I will see you real soon. Bye. 2 series competitions. Wow, this is really confusing. Will receive an automatic invitation to compete at the national festival.